These are the people, these are Somalians that a lot of people are saying they need help. These are the people that a lot of people are advocating for. Oh, why are Africans not speaking on behalf of Somalians? These are the same kind of people that they want Black Americans to actually come into the matter, settle the matter, and talk about. A Somalian man. This one is not an old video. New videos. Set up his camera, turn on his mic, set up his ring light, and said all of this thing I tag as nonsense to Americans, especially Black Americans. You know, these people have a lot. At the end of the day, they can no longer hold it back, but to come up plainly to say it. I'm going to let this clip roll out for you guys because I am pissed. I am very pissed that this man can literally open his mouth to say that Black Americans are jobless and that is why they are interested in the business of Somalia. It did not just end. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. With that being said, let's dive into this video and I'll be back with commentaries.
Only Americans who's concerned with the Somali business is the ones who have no life. They have a lot of time in their hand. They broke. They don't have no money, no ambition, nothing. They don't even have hobbies. They depressed, they lonely. You know, there's always those type of people who care about situations like this. You know? People who have something going on for their life, right? They're busy in their career, their family, they taking vacation, they're enjoying their life. You know, they're not concerned with the Somalians in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Only people you will see who's worrying about this is not even racist. They just broke. They just don't have anything going on. They're broken spiritually, physically, and financially. That's what it is. They don't have any.
Is this really where we're at, America? Take a look at this and I'll be right back. Yeah, he's Somalian, and he said he and his brotherhood are going to take over Minneapolis. Minnesota, probably next. And then the USA, America. Then they'll take over America. Well, okay, so good for him if he thinks he wants to try. But I'm telling you right now, we have so many patriots to this country, especially like in our Midwest, in our southern states, that are either, you know, war veterans or they're active military personnel or they're police officers, and they have their Second Amendment rights, and they're just itching. They're just itching to go back and teach some of the things that they learned at war, or to show you like how much experience they have with, you know, their Second Amendment rights. So I would be careful what you wish for, because we got a lot of patriots in this country that will never allow that to happen.
In light of the recent events in Minnesota and the hate, xenophobia, and of course Islamophobia Somali people are facing globally, particularly in the West, I would like to address few points that I've noticed that I believe need to be addressed once again. The first point that I'd like to address is that the saying of Somali people have voted for Trump. Yes, few did vote for Donald Trump, just like any minority group, including African Americans. But does that mean the majority who didn't vote for Donald Trump should be scrutinized and mocked? Absolutely not. So why the logic and the perspective is different for Somali people? The second point, the tie-dye's argument of some of you bring in that some Somali people may not describe themselves or identify themselves with being black. I mean, come on, let's put this to rest once and for all. The vast majority of Somali people are aware and acknowledge that they are black and African. We are literally indigenous Africans. We're very proud of that as well. And it is as indigenous as it gets. The third point I'd like to make is if you are a descendant of any minority group in the West, especially from non-white minority group, and you decided to jump on the Somali hate bandwagon, trust me, you've got bigger fish to fry.
The biggest fear is, as Black Americans are delineating, and America as a country is doing the same thing. They're coming after us. Donald Trump got elected. Immigrants are scared. So now Black Americans are doing their own thing. At the time, we're hoping that they would be standing up for us, being part of our coalition. But
Yeah, and that's the problem.
we don't know what to do now.
Yeah, because we told people, they kept telling us, well, you FBS don't work hard. You don't work. We came over with $2 and we were this, and y'all need to learn from us. It got real bad. And people got very arrogant, and even Jamaicans, they still do it. They still tell us, oh, don't come to Jamaica. Oh, don't do this. You are entitled. And y'all were telling us all of this stuff about how hard you work and how lazy we were. And we said, okay, well, handle your business then. And now people don't like it.
And can I say something? Do you know, I think that's why a lot of immigrants are running for office. There's a lot of Somalis in Minnesota, the New York mayor, because I think they're scared now since that, the current political system in America, and maybe Black Americans are not as supportive anymore. So they feel like they have to fight for themselves. They have to have a presence, or else it's over for immigrants here.
Yeah, and that ain't working because they ain't getting elected. A lot of them are not getting elected like that. It's like Winsome Sears, like your boy out there in Minnesota, Fatah, whatever his name is. He got washed, so it ain't really working out like they wanted to work out. So, hey man, it's cats should have really checked themselves with the disrespect.
So how about we have a restart, man? Black Americans and Black immigrants, we forget everything in the past. We start a new contract. We put the disputes and all this stuff to the past and just have a fresh start. Respect each other, respect each other's cultures, work together where we can work together. Let's try to work on that. I'm ready for that.
Well, the thing is, man, it's going to have to start back in the homeland. It has to start there because a lot of people bring over the same tribalistic disposition that they had over there. They bring it over here and they look at us as just another tribal group. And that's not going to work. We've been upholding global Black unity, and we've been pretty much doing it by our damn selves. So it's time for these other groups to start standing on business over in the homeland, making sure some of that tribal nonsense has stopped. And then people can come to the table and say, hey, let's get down and, let's break bread.
You guys see this video from a Somali immigrant. He's telling us what's what.
iyo meel kasta wax soo galayeen baa loogu daata dhalinyarada loo yaqaan mega ee loo soo gaabiyay Make America Great Again ee Team Trump ahaa ay kala bahdilay dagaalku ha socdo saas ha lagu wado Minnesota anaga iska leh Mareykan anaga iska leh.
Well, there you have it. They've taken Minnesota, and they're going to take out the rest of America too. And you have got to admire the confidence, right? That is a lot of bravado, especially when you consider that none of that confidence or bravado helped them to take Somalia. And just a quick tip here, sport: if you don't have what it takes to take out a couple of strung-out warlords, you do not want to dabble with rural America, because we got a lot of country boys and veterans that, quite frankly, they've been itching to get back into it.
Is there a medal? Is there a reward for working hard? I promise you, there's no bragging about working hard. There's no medal. There's no reward for working hard in this 3D world. Oh, I work hard, I'm better than everybody. Actually, I work hard because I don't have a choice. Immigrants work hard because we don't have a choice. We came with nothing. We have to build from scratch. We don't have anything to inherit from our grandparents. We have to create everything we need for ourselves, for our family, for our children. If it was up to me, I would love to make money in my sleep and not work at all.
I am currently asking for a ceasefire. I'm asking for a ceasefire between the Somalis and the African Americans.
Black
Please. We got something bigger going on right now. This is a divide and conquer situation happening in Minnesota. Y'all know we ride together when situations arise out here.
What situation?
When that George Floyd stuff happened, we was out there. Ain't nobody was asking what type of black you was. We all felt that. So I just don't want this ignorant conversation to overshadow what's really happening. Don't give them the upper hand. Why are we acting slow? I'm asking for a ceasefire.
This is so ironic to see Somali people. This is like the second video I saw, first of all, of them referencing George Floyd. We were all together during George Floyd. First of all, everybody and their mother was outside. It was a national thing. Like, it was very clouded. It was very trendy. It was very trendy to be marching and saying Black Lives Matter. There were stores that would have Black Lives Matter signs in the window. A lot of people were standing in solidarity with Black Americans. And at the end of the day, if y'all claim y'all Black, then aren't you marching for yourself? Isn't Black Lives Matter for all of y'all? You see how they separate? It's like they don't even realize that they're doing it. You're separating yourself from us by saying, we was there for you during George Floyd and Black Lives Matter. Aren't you Black too? So wouldn't that also be your plight and your fight too? Wouldn't that also be you standing up for yourself and your community as well? It's because you always other yourself. It's a subconscious thing because you do not see yourself as us. And that's okay. We finally said, okay, we're not the same. I could pull up 50 videos of Somalis saying, we're not Black, we're Somalian, we're Arab. Y'all don't even say y'all African. Y'all don't even say y'all African. Now all of a sudden, don't let the white man divide and conquer. Baby, y'all have already been divided. If you were not divided, then we probably, with the way the numbers, y'all keep talking about numbers and strength in numbers. If other melanated, deeply melanated groups of people that came here did what we actually thought, what our ancestors actually thought was going to happen, if they unified with us, we would literally be running this country. Because there is strength in numbers. But you all have gone against us. You've undermined us. You've constantly talked down on us, belittled us, denigrated us, told us we wasn't shit, called us lazy, said that you were better, and separated yourself. You created your own enclaves. Down there in Minnesota, I saw a video of a Black American man try to go into the mall that you all have, and the Somalis ran him out of there, basically segregated him. It's not even safe for us to walk around freely in you all's neighborhoods. But y'all don't like to talk about that. Y'all don't like to talk about y'all anti-Black Americanness. Y'all don't even claim to be African. But now that it's convenient and y'all just don't want, a dog pile to happen because you all are having a light shown on you. And I'm very grateful for, not for people that don't deserve it, but generally speaking, a lot of the Black on Black crime, a lot of the statistics, a lot of this narrative that we are all just so inherently crime riddled, welfare queens, baby mamas, just running amok, scamming, frauding. No, I love now that we are actually saying, no, that's the Nigerians. It's the Somalis. Because everybody was falling under the Black umbrella when it came to doing something bad. When it came to committing crime, fraud, scam, it was just all of us. So it made it look like we all were, Black Americans were just terrible. When you all actually added to our crime rates and statistics, you all actually helped to push the negative racial tropes and the negative propaganda and the stereotypes. You all absolutely had a hand in it. You've been in this country since media started to really boom. So it was not always just a Black American person out here doing debauchery, pushing the narcotics, and the Jamaicans had a heavy hand in being a pusher man. But it wasn't nobody noticing the difference. And now, since you all have been continuously saying it, everybody's waking up. It's like a mass awakening. So now we see things for what they actually are. Baby, you're a Somali. We ain't all the same. Y'all been maintained that. We are not all the same. And I've seen videos of you all getting up here also saying, we're jealous of you because y'all have nice cars and y'all live in nice houses. I mean, I haven't really been covering this too much because I'm just like, it is what it is. But this is like the second or third video I saw of y'all trying to claim George Floyd as y'all standing in solidarity. Basically, literally, you're standing in our face saying, we're not the same because I was there for you during George Floyd, during Black Lives Matter. Spread love, Mr. Brooklyn Way. What y'all think?
I don't want to sound rude, but when we say we not Black, we mean we are Somali. Color doesn't identify our identity. Okay. That's all well and good. You want your nationality, you want your religion, you want your culture to matter more. I get it, right? But you still have the phenotype, all right? Phenotype matters. You are still descendants of African. You are part of the African diaspora. Therefore, you are Black. lowercase black. You don't have to identify as a black American. I get that part. But to deny that you're black is crazy, right? In what world does that make sense? Are you saying that the world is not going to judge you or categorize you because of your skin tone? Are you saying that they're going to ignore your phenotype, right, and just look at your nationality, your religion, or your culture? Where does that happen? Tell me where that happens at. And those brothers weren't just saying this. They weren't just saying that. They deliberately and with thought beforehand pointed to their black skin, to their features that are similar to mine, and said, do I look black? Again, yeah, you look black. You look black. And it's not about assimilation or anything like that. It's about how this country is going to view you and treat you regardless of what you want to stand on. You still have to deal with reality. And the reality is they're not going to see that you're Somali. They're not going to see that you're Arab. And they're not going to see that you're Muslim. They're going to see your black skin and act accordingly. You all need to too. Godspeed.
Okay, I just want to say to the Somalians who are angry on my video that I made about Somalia. First, I didn't even know you guys were here that deep. I didn't know you guys had a voice. I was wondering who gave y'all a voice, because just a few years ago, I remember clearly sending y'all 15 cents a day to eat. Clearly. I remember the one little boy that was on here on TikTok, the Somalian boy that was saying, Somalians are not black. Let me explain. I remember the commercial he was in. He was sitting on the white lady's lap. I remember, and when I seen the video, he made me feel so bad that I was swatting at the TV like trying to get the flies off his face. And now they here in America, and that same little boy's on TikTok and making a video, and it made me feel so bad. I'm like, you know what I could have did with that 15 cents a day? Shit, I could have had an extra car or something like that, man. I could have even had an extra kid. I'm sitting so busy taking care of them damn things down there, trying to send y'all fly swatters and shit and clean water. And they kept sending it back like, we don't accept this shit. And it's like, damn, maybe that's why y'all angry, because y'all wasn't getting the stuff that we were sending to y'all. Because a lot of them white folk was probably keeping the stuff, but we didn't know that. But I didn't even know Somalians had a voice like that. And now y'all up here angry at me, yelling at me on my page? I was just, you know what? Say no more.
Actually, I am in a position to call it out, and I'm sick of these garbage attempts to invalidate not only our nationhood, but our place as Americans in it. We're not both settlers. You don't get to claim that Somalis, who got here like 5 minutes ago, that their contributions are the same as people who came here over 400 years ago to found a nation, some of whom were my ancestors, actually. I don't even say that to be rude to Somalis, but like any other recent immigrant group, they are here by the good graces of the people who were already here, and their being here is contingent upon them assimilating and behaving themselves. I'm not even saying this applies to all Somalis in America. I'm just saying there's some very questionable interviews, many of them involving Ilhan Omar, who has an inordinately large amount of power compared to other Americans. I'm also saying there are some other issues, from terrorism cases to the fraud that's been recently reported on. But a lot of it goes even deeper than that. Take the 2024 case of 42-year-old Kalinli Ibrahim Diri, who was arrested for raping a child, a 12-year-old child. Diri stalked the 12-year-old Minnesota girl who was playing in her own backyard, hit her over the head, abducted her, raped her, and then she luckily got away, but then he kept texting her, asking when he could see her again. This is a Somali refugee who's 42 years old. Here's where things get even more twisted. After he was arrested, his mosque in St. Paul, Minnesota, wrote a letter of support for a man who raped a 12-year-old. They wrote to the judge, "We, the undersigned members of the Somali community, write this letter to express our strong and heartfelt support for Kalinli Diri, a member of our community." Then state that Diri had faced the challenge of starting over in a new culture and raising children in an environment far different from the one we grew up in. What is this? So this mosque is either claiming that Somalis have so much trouble moving here that they malfunction by graping children, or that this behavior is normal in their culture, or both. Where are the condemnations from the Somali community for this mosque writing this letter claiming that this guy's a valued member of their community despite the fact that he abducted a kid and raped her? Why the silence? Most people would be utterly humiliated if a religious institution in their community put out a statement insinuating that the men in their community had to overcome some enormous cultural impulse to grape children. I'd be screaming on every street corner. Maybe I'm just weird, or maybe I'm just American. Maybe that's just a very different cultural understanding of society and morality that at least the Somalis at this mosque in St. Paul haven't yet assimilated to. Maybe that's a big effing problem that proves that no, they're not settlers in this country just like my ancestors in the 1600s.
Somalis are going through a Jareer wake-up call.
You niggas wanted to call us Jareer. And now y'all having a motherfucking Jareer wake-up call.
So what is this term Jareer wake-up call? Well, according to this young black American man named Jerry, well, he explained to me that the term Jareer wake-up call is the realization that a lot of these non-black American migrants have when they internalize and fully understand that they will be treated the same as a black American. And the reason that this term is so prominently used by people like Jerry is because he himself has said that he's warned so many migrants.
Yeah, I've been trying to warn you niggas, bro.
How it is in America for a black American and how black Americans get treated in America. And he was just trying to look out for a lot of these migrants that have coming in. And instead of, being appreciative and respectful to Jerry and black Americans in general, a lot of migrants just judge them and, call them lazy and say that they're unable to reach high levels of success. And now with everything going on in America, people like Jerry and the rest of the black community are having this I told you so moment. You should have listened to me. But instead, you're having the Jareer wake-up call. And like I said before, this isn't an isolated perspective. A lot of black Americans have come onto my live, Babushko Live, and they've expressed the same sentiment. They've said that they felt unappreciative and disrespected by migrants as a whole. A lot of them even saying that Babushko is the only migrant that they really respect because their platform is better than the whole BET network. But that's a whole nother discussion. Come join my live and let me know what you think about the Jareer wake-up call.
Why did I see a tweet today talking about the fact that Trump is targeting Somali people in Minnesota is going to put black Americans at risk? I don't think so. I think that black Americans and Somali people don't look anything alike, first of all. Second of all, they don't even consider themselves black.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat, am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. We eat the Arab food. Bro, think about it like this, bro. If a whole community doesn't regard themselves as black, we can't be black, bro.
Somalis are not black. Now, before you disagree with me, I just want to say, listen, right? There's no such thing as the term black. The term black only came about in colonization. I don't have to accept that side. That's why the other day when I was in a place, someone said to me, are you black? I said, I'm not black, side. I don't accept that term.
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black.
You think that a person, any person, can't tell the difference between a black American and a Somali person? I don't think so. I think that you can tell the difference between a Somali person and a black American person. Like, I really do. And I'm just saying.
I believe it's time we voted Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somalia out the diaspora. Them people need to go to the east side. To the north side. Go join the Arabs. Go join them people in Egypt, since y'all are Arab. Because ask anybody who's really spent some time, a significant amount of time in Africa. The same thing these people been doing out here in America, they've been doing for years in Africa, and they're still doing till this day. Them people swear they're not black. They say they're not African. They say they're Arab. They say they're everything but black. Swear to God, ask anybody in the diaspora from the motherland. Like you will leave your land to come live in a place like Ghana or Nigeria just to go there and act like you're white to the natives. Yeah, I'm calling for the excommunication of the Ethiopians, Eritreans, and Somalians out the diaspora. Go join the Arabs. Deport them from Africa as well.
Before Somalians started to flood into Minnesota, Minnesota was already on the path of eliminating and displacing Black Americans that were once there and thriving there. Many of you know about Black Wall Street inside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. But Tulsa, Oklahoma was nothing but a blueprint of other successful communities that was going on in this country. We had multiple Black Wall Streets all over the United States, all right? The one I want to focus on today, which was inside of Minnesota by way of St. Paul, was Rondo. Rondo was a community of Black Americans that had a high concentration of professionals. They had a lot of Black-owned businesses, banks, schools. They had a very high home ownership and land ownership rate. And it was all snatched away by way of eminent domain. If you're not familiar with eminent domain, that is pretty much the federal government being able to take your property if they are going to use it for the public. And what they used it for is to run Interstate 94 right through it. This displaced hundreds of families. It destroyed almost 1,000 homes and businesses. They did this, and it was led by no other than those Democrats. Democrat Governor Orville Freeman. He was a part of the Democratic Farmer Labor Party. They got rid of these Black people. So, Black Americans, if you have a problem, what's going on up there with these Somalians, you need to go take back your stuff. And I'm not saying that with violence. Don't take it that way. I'm talking about the real, the pen, the legislation, the politics. Go take back your land. Because our people once did it. And they did it through the 1920s and the 1950s. They were striving and being successful when the rest of the country was going through the Great Depression. If any of you knew, Black people have never trusted putting their monies inside of banks. So when the Great Depression was going on and these banks was holding on to people cash and they couldn't get their cash out, Black people was having their money inside of their mattresses, inside of their walls, so they were very cash rich. This was the turn of consumerism of Black Americans in this country because a lot of these businesses stayed afloat by Black consumership because Black people had the cash to do it when the rest of the country didn't. But anyway, once before, Minnesota was a thriving hub for Black Americans. Let me guys know if you knew about this. Please like, comment, share. I'll see you guys in the next one.
I have a question for you. If there was a Black community that had stolen over $1 billion from our federal government or our state government, what would happen to them? If people in Oak Cliff, Texas, which is made of mostly of minorities, Black people and Hispanic people, what would happen to them? Do you think that anyone in our government would let them go for decades, stealing from Medicaid and Medicare to the level that we've seen Somalis do it in Minnesota? So for all of the people that are saying this is a racial situation, let me tell you what racism would have done to this. It is no way that they would have let communities steal millions of dollars and billions of dollars in programs that were meant for autistic children or programs that were meant to feed people when they said they were feeding, 3,000 people a day and they only saw 24. They would not have allowed this to happen if these people were regular Americans. If these were regular African Americans or regular Hispanic Americans, this would not have happened in our United States. But our Democrat Party wants you to believe that this is a racial situation because, that's what they do. Everything is based on race. But let me just say this, from this one Black woman, I have seen people in Dallas and all over Texas go to jail for $35,000 in theft. But the thing that gets me the most about all of this fraud and corruption that's going on in Minnesota is the attitudes of the people involved. The people that live in all of these communities, these Somalis, are now threatening Americans. They're not even telling us that they're going to take over the United States.
As soon as we find out who you are, trust you will be dealt with. Period.
You know what? Russia hasn't done that yet. China hasn't done that yet. You were brought here as refugees from a small country that had almost no money. But you want all Americans to be afraid of a community that has taken and stolen from U.S. taxpayers.
The Somali community has been engaged in massive, endemic, systematic fraud against the American taxpayer for years. What we're going to discover ultimately, and we are in the throes right now of a full-throated, all-hands-on-deck federal investigation, is that the scope, scale, size, and sheer magnitude of the fraud eclipses anybody's worst nightmare. According to official government records, 90% of Somali households with children are on federal welfare. The real number is probably 100% because federal records always undercount. So you're talking about a population that has been imported into Minnesota in which virtually every single member of that population is receiving welfare from the federal government. This could very well end up, Laura, being the greatest financial fraud scandal in American history.
And so all of you people that have made comments about it's just racist, really, let me just tell you something. I don't care what race you are. If all of my cousins are stealing from me, I'm going to be mad at my cousins and I'm going to call the police on them.
I've heard about it, but I don't believe that.
Yeah. You don't believe it?
That they're taking over?
Have you heard about what's been going on with the fraud?
Yes.
Have you heard about them taking over Minneapolis and it looks like a third world country there? Yeah, there's 80,000 Somalians just in Minneapolis, and they are buying up buildings, businesses, and they're turning them into mosques and daycare centers for their kids. They're taking out bars that people have gone to for decades, restaurants are gone, and they're actually having tribal clans dictate their politics there.
Seriously?
Yes. And did you know about the 1 bill? So you're specifically talking about the Somalian community. What does the Somalian culture and people bring to our country?
You're the woman. Another culture, like any other culture.
What is their culture?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
On
one
side, I'd wait.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of I think where the
Well,
excitement is
Governor-
in the middle. The excitement's in the middle, and you have to figure things out, and you have to do your research, and you have to look into it.
Well, I'm just
Because a lot of
asking
us
what
actually have more in common than we do apart.
Yeah. What would I have in common with a Somalian?
Yeah. I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have you heard about the $1 billion fraud that they've engaged in?
I've heard about it.
Yeah. You don't think that's important to address?
At some point, yes.
At some point, but not right now. At some point, we've let in hundreds of thousands of Somalians into our country. They're not assimilating. They're running parallel societies to American culture and values, but we'll address it later.
I know Minnesota was promised to y'all 3,000 years ago. But can you stop? Because y'all pissing off a lot of people. Y'all making a lot of people angry. And it's not helping your situation, okay?
These are the people that want help. These are the people that want Africans. Stand up for us. These are the people that want Black Americans to clap for them. Like, please, the orange man, please, can you let these people be? These are the said people that voted for the orange man. These are the said people that said that Minnesota was promised to them 3,000, 4,000 years ago. Now, it didn't just end in that statement. You have the right, the guts, to say that every single person, especially Americans, that are putting their mouth into these issues of Somalians, and they are actually saying Somalians should go east, west, north, and south, that it is because they are jobless. Because if they are not jobless, they are busy with their day-to-day activities, they are busy with how to make money, they're busy with how to take care of family, they are not going to be putting their attention on that. It simply means you are also jobless for bringing this as a content creator. You are very, very jobless. You know, a lot of people come to my comment section to be like, it is not all Somalians that say we are not blacks. It is also, these Somalians are ungrateful. I can tell you guys for a fact that these Somalians are literally ungrateful. So no matter how hard you try, they can never be black. You know, when I saw a video where the lady said they should actually cease fire, I was like, you don't know these people. These people are people that will never change. Now look at the other clip where this guy was literally saying their plan was to take over Minnesota, and after taking over Minnesota, they are coming to take over America. And that is why, if you check what was happening in Minnesota, a lot of them are now removing shops, buying houses, and turning them into mosques. I don't have an issue because that's actually a place of worship, but I have an issue that you have a plan. You have a plan to take another man's country. Okay, what was the actually plan? Is it that you want to take over US and then the US people can actually now move to Somalia? Do not blame any person, any black person, any black Americans that is actually not supporting those people. And you see why I said in one of my videos that I do not support Trump. I am not a Trump supporter, not even for one bit, but I'm so thankful to this eye-opening that Trump is actually doing, especially to these Somalian people. I am so thankful that Trump understand or he understood what these people are. And he wants to do everything in a single power to make sure he places them at the right position. At least, even if Somalians don't totally get to leave the US forever, they will literally know that this country called America is not actually a country that they can just come, manipulate, take over, commit their crimes, and just just disappear. Now tell me, when people are seeing this kind of videos online, do you think we'll not have that mouth, that strength to be like, oh, let's come out for Somalians? One of them even made a comment that if Trump can actually come for Somalians, Trump can actually come for every other person, every other immigrant, except for just white Americans. Black Americans cannot be deported. That's one thing you should know. They can never be deported. And I don't even have an issue. If Trump decides that he's going to boycott every single country not to come to his country, that's his business. Like, that is literally his business. But he has seen the place where you people are coming from. You Somalians that cannot curtail your words, that cannot know exactly what to say on camera, especially if you guys are so badly want to trend. You don't know what to say again. It's just to go ahead and just boom out of your mouth. And for context, I'm not saying all Somalians are bad. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying majority of them, they don't like black people. They don't support black people. They don't even want to have anything to do with black people. They only want to support the orange man and everything he does. And now you guys are getting your axe whooped. And you still have the guts, the effrontery, the audacity, the temerity to still come on here, turn on your ring light, set up your phone or set up your camera, and then set up your mic and start talking shit. Instead of Somalians to now go ahead and call this person to order and be like, that thing you are saying is not good. The annoying part is you see them in the comment section saying, yes, you're coming to take over. I want to take over. You're taking over US. Let's see how you guys take over US. Maybe you think these are the days of slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, where they were able to do that to black people. You think right now that black people are done building US? And you have never identified yourself as US, you've identified yourself literally as Arabs, then you can come take over. Call for Arabs to support you or move to your neighboring Arab countries. Must you stay in US? Must you? Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this video. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do well to subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be seeing that, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys, I love you guys.